The Adult-to-Adult Blueprint. Life After the Cage. Chapter 1. The New Frontier. We have dismantled the golden cage. We have faced the psychological murder of the eternal child. Now we stand at the most difficult crossroads of all. You are free, but you are standing in the wreckage of your oldest relationship. The question that remains is, what now? Can you ever go back to the family table as a peer? Is it possible to transform a lifetime of control into a relationship of mutual respect? Or is the damage so deep that the only way to save yourself is to leave forever? Today, we define the adult-to-adult blueprint, the radical, often painful architecture of a healthy relationship with a parent. This is the endgame. Chapter 2. The hierarchy versus the contract. In the golden cage, the relationship was a hierarchy. It was based on a top-down command structure where the parents' needs, anxieties, and whims dictated the weather of your life. To them, love was synonymous with obedience. In the adult-to-adult model, the hierarchy is dead. It is replaced by a mutual contract. A healthy relationship between a parent and an adult child is a voluntary association between two autonomous individuals. It is no longer based on shoulds or musts, but on consent. In this new blueprint, your parent no longer has a natural right to your time, your money, or your emotional labor. Everything you give is a choice. If the parent cannot accept this shift from authority to peer, the relationship cannot exist in health. It is the hardest pill for a controlling parent to swallow. The realization that they are now an option in your life, not an obligation. Chapter 3. The hallmarks of health. What does a healthy adult-parent bond actually look like in the real world? It's not about perfect harmony. It's about boundaries. First, there is information privacy. You no longer feel the guilt compulsion to report your life. You share what you want, when you want. Second, there is advice by request only. In a healthy dynamic, a parent respects your competence. They don't offer solutions to problems you didn't ask them to solve. Third, there is the respect for no. When you say you can't make it to Sunday dinner, a healthy parent might be disappointed, but they don't weaponize that disappointment. They don't get suddenly ill, and they don't call your siblings to shame you. A no is accepted as a full sentence, not the start of a negotiation. Chapter 4. The fence versus the wall. A common mistake when escaping the golden cage is building a wall when you only needed a fence. The wall is made of anger and total silence. It's a reaction to trauma. A fence, however, is a boundary with a gate. Setting a fence means you decide who gets in and under what conditions. You might decide on low contact. This means you see them on holidays. You speak once a month, but you keep the conversation strictly on safe topics. You remain polite, but distant. You are grey rocking by design. This is often the only way to maintain a relationship with a parent who is difficult, but not evil. You are managing the connection like a professional diplomat. You aren't looking for deep emotional intimacy because you've accepted they aren't capable of it. You are looking for functional peace. Chapter 5. The nuclear option, no contact. We have to talk about the nuclear option. For some, the golden cage was so toxic, the manipulation so deep, and the parents' refusal to change so absolute, that a fence is not enough. No contact is the most misunderstood and stigmatized choice in our society. People will tell you, but they're family, or you only have one mother. These people do not understand the cost of a soul-crushing relationship. Choosing no contact is not an act of revenge. It is an act of final mercy for yourself. It is the recognition that the relationship is a burning building, and you cannot put out the fire by staying inside. If a relationship requires you to sacrifice your mental health, your marriage, or your sanity to exist, it is not a relationship. It is a hostage situation. Sometimes the only way to win is to stop playing the game entirely. Chapter 6. The myth of forgiveness. Society obsesses over forgiveness as a requirement for healing. But here is the truth. You do not have to forgive them to be free. Forgiveness is often used as a tool by toxic families to bypass accountability. They want you to forgive and forget so they can continue the same patterns. True healing requires radical acceptance, not necessarily forgiveness. You accept that they are who they are. You accept that they may never change. You accept that the childhood you wanted is never coming. When you accept the reality of who they are, you stop being disappointed by them. You stop fighting for a version of them that doesn't exist. That acceptance is the key that finally turns the lock on the cage. Chapter 7. Ending the Generational Curse. The ultimate goal of the adult-to-adult blueprint isn't just about your relationship with your parents. It's about your relationship with the future. By breaking the golden cage, you are ending a generational cycle of trauma. You are ensuring that your own children, or the people you influence, will never have to perform a psychological murder to be free. You are teaching the world that love is not control, and that family is a choice based on respect, not a cage built on guilt. You are the architect now. The blueprints are in your hands. You decide what stays, what goes, and who is allowed through the gate. If this series has helped you find your way out of the cage, please share your journey in the comments. Your courage gives others the permission to be free. Subscribe to join our community of architects. Stay sovereign.